Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. We are currently in West Mersey, just sitting at the station, and this train is about to leave any second now. Last time out we had a time lapse where I built a bunch more farms. That was down south of Downham Market, so Croydon, Batsley, Ollerton, Maryport. That area is where I made the adjustments and improved the farms and got it ready for building some railways. Today I think I'm going to be looking at getting some freight running because I really want these railways to expand, and I've noticed that there are a number of towns on the railway network at this point in time that require goods. So I'm thinking, I wonder if I can make some sort of large goods factory that I can start shipping out to these towns and really getting the expansion going. And at the same time, I'm trying to work out how I'm going to do these buildings. So you can see these British style buildings on either side. I'm trying to work out how that is going to have an impact on the town as well. So there are two things here that I really need to worry about. So make sure you stay tuned, because I am going to be perhaps doing a little bit of both, but certainly trying to work out how to get the goods going on this particular line, in these particular towns, and in this particular UK series. Okay, so West Mersey is one of the towns that wants goods first as well as machines. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a relatively flat bit of land. Relatively flat. That's relatively flat. There we go. This bit of land here, just to practice and check what types of industry we have that will certainly help us. Oh, that looks pretty neat. It's an oil rig. Not going to worry about oil rigs. So obviously we've got the trading station, which is not something we want to work with. I just want to see what generally comes about. So we've got a sawmill, which makes perfect sense, but that isn't what I'm really looking for. I'm looking for something that will make goods. What do goods require? That's the important part, you see. So if I click that, what does it require? Now it says plastic and steel. Now I think we can make goods without plastic and steel, because that would be, in this era, that is what would be happening. We would be making goods without plastic and steel. So I'm thinking perhaps this goods plant here, and I think, ooh, this should be something we can... Oh, well, hello? Can I not make this bigger? Because there's clearly more on here. So we've got plastic and wood, plastic and paper, plastic and whatever else. Oh, in fact, that's it. Those are the only things that it can take. Can I configure these to do anything else? No. So that is not really going to help unless it can do. Again, I'm unable to actually expand this. Is there any way of checking it in these industries? No. So yeah, I need to try and work out what I can make goods with, and then I need to figure out where to do that. So I think that's our best bet, is going to be a custom factory, because certainly we do not have the ability to make the plastics just yet. So we'll have to have a look. So the things that I think we should be able to make goods out of at this point in time is probably going to be wood, steel, and paper. So, you know, some sort of, or fabrics, if there's some way of making fabrics. Those would be the kind of things that I am thinking are going to be the requirements. So perhaps paper's not a thing. Yeah, so it would be, I mean, I guess you could do paper for something. So the first thing we need to really look at is where can we get wood from. So we've got some wood down here in Croydon. So we have a forest there. We have... Where else do we have a forest? We've got a forest up here near Barnstaple. In fact, we've got a couple of forests up here. So that is looking fairly good. In fact, what we could do is if we run the two forests over to perhaps somewhere in West Bromwich and have a factory in West Bromwich that makes planks. So if we have a factory in West Bromwich that makes... In fact, what does Barnstaple require? No... Or in Bentham that makes planks. So we've got two down there. We'll have a factory here. And then that factory will ship the planks off to... I think we could have a nice factory in West Mersey for some goods. So that would make wood, goods from wood. And then we'd have to work out the steel. Now we do have an oil. We have one of these. That's going to give us fuel. We'll have to have a look at that. And then we can work out the whole steel situation afterwards. And we also have... Oh, we've got wood down here too. So we do have two locations down here where we could produce. In fact, 3 locations down here. Now that is interesting. Because if I do 3, the train going up here would have to be... I mean, I can get a train up this hill. It will be slow, but I can certainly get it up the hill. And then back down the other side. Without cutting through things. And then from there, if I have another station over here... we could route that wood all into Croydon where we'd have the sawmill instead. And then from Croydon, perhaps we can have the goods factory in Downham Market. Or indeed, we could have the goods factory way up in West Mersey just to give the freight a place to run. And then in West Mersey, we need to have goods coming down the line. We need to have goods going towards Bentham. We need to have goods going up the line. And where else would we need to have goods going? At the moment, that seems like it. I mean, eventually they need to go everywhere, but that would be interesting. I think that is what I'm going to go for. So let's figure this out. Let's start with this one, because this is an easy one. Yes, this is a really easy one. So I will begin by creating a road that manages its way. Yeah, that's not the road I want. That manages its way like so. There we go. So now we've got a road there. So that is just something that we can have. Then I need to have a station. Now we've got this public right of way here, so I really need to think about where I would want the station. Where does this road seem to go? It just connects there. So we do have other ways to connect. And the reason I'm thinking about that is because of how I would place the station here. Because if I go to what is that? No, freight station. Internal error. Internal error? What is this? What kind of error is this? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Ever seen this sort of error? See console for details. Large modular station. Ooh, I wonder if that's... Has that gone? Ah. Okay. Oh, that's a problem. No, it isn't. That isn't a problem. That is not a problem. I can fix this. Because what I'm going to do is I will place a basic passenger station and work it out from there. That's fine. Not an issue. I will deal with it. So what I'm going to do is I will just going to place the passenger station perhaps just about there. And then I'm going to configure this. And I will look at doing some cargo platforms. So what I could do is I can put yes, I suppose I could do some cargo platforms there and there. This isn't perfectly straight, is it? It's not aligned up how I want it to be. I will figure this one out. I could, so if I just do that, is that better lined up? That is better. And then I can do a configure on it. I will place some wooden cargo platforms, which I wonder what are these? Now these are still lower. I suppose they are supposed to be lower if you think about it. So that's going to be 160 meters, 200 meters. I think that is the kind of platform that we are really looking at over here. And then I would like to place a cargo shed. Now I need some connection to a road somehow. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do. See, that's not right. I need to figure something out here. I mean, realistically, it's not. We're just going to be storing some wood in there. And then cargo buildings. Cargo buildings, there's some. There we go. That is what I was after. So we can just put just one set just here. It doesn't look perfect, but that will allow us to build a station, and then I can just go ahead and delete all of that. So okay, so the cargo platform, so it looks like I've got a mod issue. And let's go 20 mile per hour bullhead track. It just needs to be a single platform because we're only going to a single destination at this point in time with this particular train. So there we go. Again, it isn't lined up exactly as I want it. To be fair, I could just reroute the road if I really wanted to. That is something that can be done. In fact, I do have is it this? No. What is this? Construction mover on. Train 2, train 5 have a problem. What? What problems do we have? Who's decided to go around in the wrong direction? You're fine. Why do you all have problems? Yeah. What? Why are you facing this direction? Turn around. You should be going in that direction. Sometimes I don't understand these. Right, so I've got this construction mover, and I know I'm able to do something with it. Just haven't yet figured out what. Am I supposed to click something else? Not that one. Is it shift, control? Oh, I really should read up how this works. With sidewalk, no decoration, no. Tools, no. Okay, I will have to read up exactly how this thing works, this construction mover. Unless we're supposed to be in that and then. No, that doesn't do it. No. Okay, that's fine. I will figure that out at a later time. So, now we have our platform for our train, which doesn't look too bad. I now need to figure out how to get it over to a sawmill that we are going to be building in Croydon. Now, I think for this, we really probably should have the passenger rail down to match up with where we are going. Although, that being said, the freights could have come first and then the passenger will come later. So where would I want to do this? Well, personally, I would run this along here. I would probably bridge over this pond, to be fair, but I would probably run along here, along this, try and go right round the side of this, and then more than likely cut over here and have the sawmill over here. That is where I would most likely end up putting a sawmill. There is a bit of a downhill slope there though, so maybe that isn't the best option. Let's give it a go though. So let's look at switching that off. Let's look at how these sawmills work. So, I mean, I suppose I think the sawmill would probably be closer to the forest though, if I'm being completely honest. In which case, what you do is you just bring this around and then bring it down this side and in. Which is probably what I prefer. And indeed, if I took over this farm, took over these two farms, but that gets in the way of that, so I don't want to do that. Okay, hills are going to be a slight concern. But if I do this, that's not so much of a concern anymore. Because the sawmill will fit in this area. I can then delete that. And technically I can run the rails down this side. If I really had to. Straight through there, along there, and then round here. Perhaps I will dam this area up, because that's something that would happen as well. So I'd go for level, flatten, level, flatten. So I'd pick from here, and I would end up damming this area like so. And that is something that could very well happen. There we go. And then perhaps just smooth this out just a smidge. Oops. Like that, and then once again put the dam in. There. I think that's a thing. That's definitely a thing. And then we just bring it along here and into here. Where are we going to put this? Well, I think what's going to happen is that this is no longer a farm. And yes, let's do that. Right. Let's go back to the tracks. And I mean, I think traveling along at 30-40 miles per hour is probably reasonable for this set. So I'd like to begin by going slightly off in this direction, curving it around there, continuing the curve like so, and then perhaps something along those lines, and then straight. And then I do need to curve it slightly. And so people that were travelling along here would see this downhill gradient of a... Oh, that is quite downhill, isn't it? I didn't realise how downhill that was. Okay. because we are going back uphill, so I have a slightly different idea as to what I want to do now. So I'll bring it downhill a little, and then I think what I should do is I should try and keep that flat, because that is really downhill. So I'll do this. Ooh, don't crash. Don't crash. Please don't crash. Thank you. Let's do that. So now you're traveling along here. That's a fairly high. Yeah, let's change that out a little. Perhaps for that kind of setup. Ooh, switch this on. There we go. I think that work? Oh, that didn't work. What it's supposed to do, I think, is supposed to be create an. It's supposed to, that is, create an abutment if we've got that option available. Oh, maybe these don't have it. Ah, yes, that's probably the issue. Yeah, that is probably the issue. So we could have small, or we could have medium, or we could have broad. Is that supposed to be broad? I don't know. To be fair, I kind of like that one. Do quite like that. So we'd have it go along here. So yes, you are driving along, and there is some sort of bridge. But I'm hoping. How will that look? I guess it isn't going to look terrible. And then we can take it right across, so that way it doesn't even get in the way of this road. I mean that is quite a benefit to this particular bridge. And then how far does it need to go before it flattens out again? Not too far. Not too far at all. So I will bring it down like so. And then if I get rid of this area and then just do that, that does, I mean that's one bridge. It's definitely a bridge. And I feel like I could probably turn this bit. I think I could turn this bit up to about here into an embankment. No, embankment. An embankment, there we go. I think that's more reasonable. And therefore the bridge is only this small piece here. I'm not keen on it. It's just, when you look at these bridges, you're never too sure what the right way of doing it is. And then, if I just prepare the station at the end of this, how do we want this station? How do I want this station? That's a good question. At the back of it? To be honest, that would probably be the better option, in which case, well, we need to wait for the autosave, and then I think I could, yeah, at the back, maybe move that forward. Oh, there's a construction mover. How do I use these things? I've downloaded a few things and I haven't figured out how to use them yet. How do I... That isn't how you do it. Was that again the construction? That is the construction. That's the construction mover. How do I move things? Configure. No. Control Shift. Nope. Alt. Really should look up how this works. Is there anything here that might tell me? No. No, nothing here. Alright. That's fine. I'll just go ahead and maybe you do that and then no. I'll just go ahead and do that and place it back in. So this time what I'm going to do is I am going to... What if I placed it there? That would be interesting. Because that's sort of off the road, and then I can actually do this. If I place it here, maybe, oh, that's not right. Get rid of all of that, get rid of that. Place it there. There we go. And I'll keep it a little further away, specifically because what I'd like to do is remove the road and then place my own road running along here. Now this could be pretty good. So I'll do that. Curve tool. That. There and there. There we go. Now that is not bad. That is not bad at all. There's a little dip in the road, everything. Yeah, that seems to do what I want it to do. Next up, I do need to sort of do some smoothing just of this area. There we go. That's where I can fit the railways in, and we will put the station. Once again, we're going to have the problem with the station, so I'm just going to have to guess it. If I put the station out here, what if I put the station up against... No, that isn't going to work. Technically, I can put the station this way. Doesn't really matter, you see. So if I put the station out this way and then build some roads connecting it up, that would be absolutely fine. So if I put the station something like that, and then I will obviously build up the correct things for it. So man, it has platforms. It will be a... I'll put a... Let me just put a few of these in so I can build it properly. See, that's where I needed to be aware as to what I can do. So I can only do something along these. Interesting. I could end up taking this down into a tunnel if I really, really wanted to afterwards. Right, so if I do that, I can then put one of these buildings, maybe one of these, this and this, would that, no, this and this, that might do. Okay, that and that works, and then I can put a road going there, and then the platform on this side, so I can go ahead and delete all of, not this. I can delete all of that, go back to the tracks. What are the tracks? 35 mile per hour track? Sure, why not? 35, 30 into here. There we go. Electric module already. We're not at that juncture yet. I think with this we need a couple of platforms, to be perfectly honest. But there we go, that's that. And then I mean, I think if I can really make this work. I do think I can really make this work, because I could build a road. Whoops. out like this, and then have the road. I suppose I could do a sharp turn, have the road do that, and then join on like that. Now I know there's a way for me to fix this bit as well, so that's something I will do. But also, at the same time, as an expansion of Croydon, this road will end up being able to be expanded out in that direction. So I'm already looking forward to see what I can do with this. I'm not keen on how that drops though. I'm not entirely keen on that drop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a flatten first. There we go. I'll then build a road. So now the road is flat where it needs to be. And then I'll probably break this one, and then I will look at doing that. There we go. And then now I can smooth. There we go. That is much better, and I do tend to, yeah, I like that a lot more. Okay, so that is not looking too shabby. Now all I've got to do is get the 40 mile per hour tracks back in, and let's just hook up this one along this way. And do we want the dip? That's a bit of a not entirely keen on that. I'll be perfectly honest. What would happen if I did? No, what would happen if I tried to keep this flat? There we go. How's that looking? Doable. Quite doable. Oops. How does that look? Slight dip down, then back up. So if I do that, then perhaps that will click. Oh dear. Do not. Will you stop? Please stop. There we go. And there. Okay. Not too shabby. This isn't quite as smooth as I would like. No, it isn't. So the only other option I can think of is take it all the way from the bridge. And this is important, by the way. Getting this right is actually really important to making this look right. No, I do not want you connecting there. I want you connecting here. Much better. Much better. Right. So that is how we're going to get... well, I suppose the other thing we could do is just that. That is how we are going to get our wood from here to here. Next thing we've got to think about is how are we going to get a depot in this thing. So we have no depots on this side of the map. I do genuinely think we need a depot either in Downham Market or Berwick upon Tweed to service this side of the map, because we cannot run things from Ely all the time. That is just not going to be sufficient. We'll work on the depot in a minute. The next thing I want to do is obviously run the wood over to Downham Market, because I think, do I want to run it to Downham Market or do I want to run it all the way to West Mersey to produce goods? That's a really big question. Because running it to West Mersey is going to look brilliant. It is truly going to look astounding, because we'll probably end up running it through here. I'll end up doing some weird tracking over here and then joining it onto the main line, and then we'll run it along this area, and then from here, as it comes up, it's going to make something even more complicated, where I think perhaps we'll have something peel off into this direction or something, and that is where we're going to have or even from out of here, can we we're going to have to do something here, which is going to look really, really awesome. But on the other hand, Downham Market is currently relatively untouched, and we've got a perfect spot, I'd say about here, for a freestyle factory, one of these freestyle industries, and I can turn this all into. So we do that and just say make it a what would it be? It would be output output mode, input mode, something like that. Is that what we do? Trying to figure out what it would be, and we would have it give out goods, something like that, and what would we do from there? So yeah, it does that, but I'd want it to. Yeah, I've probably got the wrong one, to be honest. It's more than likely supposed to be. It's this one. Here we go. That's the one. That's the one. Freestyle Industry 3. So we'd have this, and we'd probably look at. So it'd be cargo. So we'd have in and in is out. In or in is out. Input is out. So it'd probably be. You can do a custom one, but we'd actually have in or in. In fact, we'd have in and in, so it'd be planks. No. In and in or in. There we go. So we can have planks, and we have 2 planks makes goods. And then, so that's cargo A, and then cargo B would have going forward. Obviously, would probably want to do. I mean, we could probably make it out of metal as well. We could have some steel going in, like so, and we'd do that, and that would give us. Yeah, see, that wouldn't be too bad. So 1 steel, and that would give us the ability to really work on this. And then going forward, we could increase this to include plastics as well. And I think that is going to be a really nice goods factory if we build this up here. And then the town can build around it. Yes, I think that is a really good idea. But I also think that we are at the end of this particular video. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a bit of preparation here before I end. And set up a... So what I'm thinking is that we'll run along the bottom under here, through here, and just have it... Where was I going to put it? Here. So I can just have the train station pull in on this side, right here. That is where we could have the cargo station and have the massive. That is going to look really good, and also it is going to help perhaps plan up how I'm going to run the Ollerton lines. So let's go ahead and I don't know. I need to get a screenshot of something or other. That's not terrible. I mean, this isn't the best thing, but it isn't terrible. So at least it gives an idea as to what I'm doing. So not the most progress in this particular video, but certainly progress nonetheless. So there we go. I'll do that. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think, any ideas and suggestions you may have. As I said, I'm looking to do the next part. In the next episode, we're going to be building up this area in Downham and getting that running. And since Downham is one of those that does require goods, this is going to be really good for it. Pun not intended. And then we can work on running things to Berwick, which should also build up the whole Ollerton area. And then from Berwick, we need West Mersey and Bentham. Bentham at the moment doesn't have anything, so that is going to be interesting. Perhaps we'll have to run a line out this way, which also then gives us access to the coal up here, which is going to open up a whole other set. So that is where we can we can start looking at things like steel. If you can do so, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. www.patreon.com/ECGadget. Your supports would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out. And also, you can find me on social media as ECGadgetLP for both Twitter and Instagram. That is all from me, and I'll see you next. Oh, I need to delete this. That is all from me, and I will see you next time in Transports Fever 2. I might, if I get a chance off camera, add a little bit more farms, and I am looking, perhaps in Berwick, to try adding some of those British houses to just test and see exactly what happens. So I'll see you next time.